Good morning. This morning I'm busy covering the INF2611 May-June 2015 exam paper, question 1F. As you can see, it actually might be 1E. As you can see at the moment, I've created a new project in Lazarus, and the project is empty. I've added the form and I've just changed the name of the form. Named it according to the Delphi standards, FRM deleter name, and I've changed the caption property to deleter name. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a file menu bar here so that it makes sure it's the same as this. I'm going to add one list box. I'm going to add a label, and I'm going to add a text box or text edit, and then I'm just going to add a load button, because the idea of this this video is to just show you how one action list can be used with two separate options, like one file menu, and one button. So first of all, I need to add a drop down menu to my list over here. So if I go here, I can double click and it'll add a menu for me. Okay, then what I do is I rename this, but I don't know if it's a requirement of the Delphi book, but it's just easier to rename it to something that's easy for you to remember. So I'll just call it menu main. Okay, and then on that menu main, I want to add a new item here, and I want to, on this new item, I want to be able to change the name of this item. I'm going to call it menu file, because that is what's over here is file, and on the item I'm going to call it, I'm using the and sign and file, which as you can see it adds the underline which is required over here. Okay, then I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to say insert after. Okay, it should be create a sub menu. I'm going to delete this new item, and on this sub menu I'm going to change it to menu and load. Okay, and then the caption, I'm going to leave it as new item. Okay, the caption, because you will notice later on when we're using the action list, this caption will update according to what is specified on the action list. Okay, so I'll leave that as it is, and then as you can see they've got a load button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drag my menu across here, because I want to add a nice this option won't show up when the user executes the program. So yeah, this is a memo. I don't want a memo. I like to use a little list. So I'm just going to find, there's my list box. Okay, and nothing's going to really be named in it, but I'm just doing it because Lazarus is fun and programming is fun. Okay, I'm going to obviously rename this to what is required in the Delphi book. So this is an LST, I'm just going to call it list names. Okay, it's going to remain empty. I'm going to create a new label, and I'm going to change this label to LBL result, and then this results, wait, that's the name. I should be changing the name of that name there. Okay, and the caption, I want it to say select name to delete. Voila. Okay, so that will be shown, and I wanted a text edit or edit box, so I'll go there, rename that, ADT team name. Okay, I don't want the caption there, so I'm going to take out, I don't think it's caption, I think it's text. There we go. I want that blank. Okay, and then I want to add a button. Okay, there's my button. So I'm going to rename this button to BTN load, because that's what it's doing. And as you can see, there we've got BTN load, and there you can see there's a new item 3. Okay, what we can do from here is, first of all, I'm going to add a dialog. I'm going to add a file open dialog, because that's what I'm going to call inside of my action list. Okay, I'm going to leave it over here, and I believe I'll rename this open dialog box to something more appropriate, to open file, but I'll just leave it as it is, open dialog. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to add a new action list. So if I go here, I think the action list is somewhere on one of these options. I just want to double check where it is, but I know it should be very close. Yeah, that is it. So I can just add an action list here, and then it asks me for what do I want to call it. I just call it ACL and main. Okay, and then once that's done, I can double click on this action list, and you'll see there it comes up with a new menu option. I want to create a new action called load. So if I click on this load option here, you see it's got a name, and it's got a caption. Okay, so I'm going to name this ACT load. Okay, so that's just the name that it's given, and you can see there it changes the name of it. And then from here I'm going to change the caption. I want to set the caption to what is appearing everywhere else, which is and load. Okay, over there. And then there's normally a shortcut key, which, as you can see here, so if you assign it a shortcut key, which we're going to assign Control O or Control L, because that's what they're using here, CTRL, then it'll automatically add that shortcut name and everything to that action. Okay, so now I've got my action that I want. Okay, I'm going to leave this as INF2611 May June 2015, and I'm calling it a P for project, because that's what it is. Didn't mean to invoke this, but anyway, and U for unit. Okay, rename to lowercase, that's fine. Alright, so now that I've got everything and I've saved it, this list option that I've created, if I double click on it, you'll see it comes up with a an option to add a snippet of code in it. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and use a snippet of code where it'll just come up with that open dialog box, so that we can see that it's executing. Okay, dialog 1 execute, then if open dialog 1 execute, then let's say begin. Okay, I don't want to save, I want to actually just load. So I'm going to just call this load the selected file name, and from here we're going to say edit okay, and yeah, this file, okay, that should begin that and end that. Okay, right, then once that is executed, then that's okay. I'm actually not going to load any file because I want to actually just show you that it works. So I'm going to rather use a message box, in which case it'll be easier to show that it's activated. Okay, so I just need to remember what the message box is. I think it can use show message, so let me just check this. Message, oops, okay, show message, and you have managed to open in an action list. Okay, I forget that when I'm using the two languages, one uses a single quote, the other is a double quote. Okay, so nothing is currently assigned, so this button over here you can see has got an action property. So now as soon as I assign this action load, you see how that button changes to the caption that I've specified for that action load. It'll execute this code because I've got it assigned to that action list. I'm not going to assign this new item 3 yet because I just want to show you that the first one is working. So when we execute the program, we should see the screen appearing any minute now. Okay, as you can see there, I click on file new, nothing is happening. Okay, I click on load, and then there it comes up with my message box. Okay, alright, so if I close this, I go OK, you'll see that if I go to this menu item and I go and I select this new menu option here, you'll see that it's selected my my menu name that I've specified for this item number 3. As you can see, the caption is still new, so I'm going to change this to the same action, and you can see there it automatically inherits the load feature. So now when I go and execute the program, you'll see that it doesn't matter if I use the file or the load button, both will show me that message. So you see there, it's got file, go load, and it's done. Click on load, and it's done. So I hope this helps you to understand that by using an action list, you can assign that action to multiple components on the system, and you don't have to repeat the code for each component that you've added. So that's the main usage of using an action list. I hope that this video has helped you, and I wish you all the best of luck for your exam. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.